Hey everyone, today is Wednesday, October 4th, 2017. You're listening to Devil Tongue
and Phantom Other
on Spreaker.com, www.spreaker.com. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram,
Facebook,
Skype. We're working on that.
And Facebook.
And I actually have a phone number for you, but forgive me, you will get that so you can call in and leave messages and all that. Why are you making that face? Our fans can do that.
Well, your fans could do that.
No, our fans. I think that's like saying we have a baby together and it's my baby.
It is your baby.
No. See, it's my baby when the baby's bad, but when the baby's good, it's your baby, right?
No, it's not. It's your baby.
Well, this week we don't have the baby, but anyway.
I know.
No, but on a serious note, we're going to continue our topic, or I should say, episode on bullying. This is bullying part 2. And I want to go a little deeper about bullying as well, okay. This is somewhat a subtopic of that. The shooting in Las Vegas. We don't know as this point right now what prompted Stephen Paddock to open fire on a concert crowd of over 22,000 concert goers, right? Or 2,200.
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know the numbers.
It was a large crowd, but the body count was 59 killed and over 500 injured. You know, some of those injured are still in critical condition. Godspeed to those who were injured. And I say this respectfully. Hopefully the body count will stay at 59. Again, some patients are still critically injured, so it may go up. We hope it doesn't. But in terms of bullying, the last week at this time, 18-year-old named Abel Cedeno stabbed 2 of his classmates to death because they were bullying him. You know, just cutting straight to the point. Now, Abel Cedeno waived his right to show up in court, and Matthew McCree's mom, the 15-year-old child who was killed, obviously, notably, she is upset. You know, she, quote-unquote, said she's waiting for her day in court. But one thing I keep stressing is that you have to look at Abel Cedeno's past history of being bullied, and you have to look at the events that led up to him stabbing both of those students.
Well, to cut into that, it's not just him. It's 3 people involved here. It's the 2 bullies and the victim, okay? What would make the 2 bullies want to bother the victim? Okay, that's number 1. Why were they picking on him? Okay? Now, it had to be so bad that the victim had to lash out like that, or was fed up. Okay? So, you know, when you're talking about it, respectively, you have to look at it from a 3-point objective, because you have the 2 bullies and then you have the victim. Okay? Yes, I feel bad for the victim, because you know what? He should have the right to live, whatever his lifestyle is, whatever he wants to do. He shouldn't be, penalized or, be made fun of or anything like that. And the 2 bullies didn't have the right to bother him, so that, you feel that because he's either gay, straight, wear pink, doesn't wear pink, whatever, you feel like, since he's not in the same category as you as in a straight male, that you feel like you need to lash out at him, make fun of him, throw things at him, corner him, bully him. So that's another factor that you have right there.
And I'm not to cut you off. Coming on the heels of that, some of you may remember Eastside High in Jersey, telling our age again, but there was another bullying incident where a transgendered female was attacked in the school. Now, this student wasn't injured to the point where it required hospitalization, but here we go again. The LGBTQ community goes through a lot of bullying just based on, I'm going to say, their orientation.
True. But you also have to understand, too, is that I'm not saying that I accept bullying, but you have to understand also is that community wants to be accepted, okay?
We all do.
Correct. But that community wants to be accepted. All right. You have to understand is that this is a community that's been hidden for many years. Now they want rights. Now they want marriage. Now they want a whole bunch of stuff. And, it doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy. So, I respect the fact that that's what they want to do. And that's their business. And that's the way I have to say it as. But you also have to understand is that it comes with consequences. All right? It comes with consequences. Because guess what? Everybody doesn't like same sex. Period. End of story. I don't care. It is what it is. Everybody's not going to like you interchanging your sex. It is what it is. If you're born male, they're thinking you're going to be male to the day you die. And you feel like you're female inside. That's how you feel. I respect that. But everybody else is not going to accept that. So I'm not saying that you should get bullied. I'm not saying that. What happened is that there is going to be a fallout. It's just like you being black and going into a white racist neighborhood. You try to avoid it as much possible. If you know the neighborhood is racist and you black, you want to come out alive. So you try to avoid it as the plague. Why would I want to walk right through there? I understand. Yes, I do have a right. Yes, I do. But I also have common sense too.
I'm going to take a sub-branch to bullying.
Go ahead.
And focus again on what happened in Las Vegas, because this issue of, let's say, gun rights keeps coming up over and over and over when there is a mass shooting incident.
Well, the funny thing to that was that me and you had the discussion earlier, and we were talking about gun control. And now the guns are now in their own backyards, okay? And now I want to see what they're going to do about it, because you know what? It's not like it's crack. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's kind of like meth. It's funny. Give you an example. I know it's a little bit sidebar, but okay. In the 80s, there was crack, right? Crack was like this epidemic. Actually, live zombies were in the streets in the 80s. It was real.
Now it's heroin. But continue.
Okay. Oh, K2. That's another thing. So now what happened is that back in the 80s or whatever, as he would say, we're showing our age, nobody really did anything about it. Yeah, just say no to drugs. Yeah, the egg frying in the pot. Yeah, you had a lot of metaphors out there to let you know that drugs were bad, but nobody was up there really enforcing it. I mean, other than putting drug dealers to, jail and stuff like that, they wasn't really enforcing it.
Oh, the Rockefeller drug law is ridiculous.
No, but see, this is the thing that kills me. Now you have meth labs, right? Oh, now it's a problem in our backyard. So now when you want to go get Sudafed from the drugstore, now we need to see a license. Listen, who's doing meth in the hood? I don't know anybody doing meth in the hood. I mean, everybody's probably doing crack or cocaine or whatever else, or heroin or something like that. Who's doing meth in the hood? Think about that. That's not our drug. But guess what? We still get penalized. They made the laws harder for them than for us, because it's now in their backyards. You get what I'm saying? Because now, when you look at meth is not our problem. Meth is your problem. So now meth is your problem. Now you want to lay down the laws. Now you want to make it harder for people to get cough medicine and what you call it, allergy drugs and stuff like that. Now you're going to make it hard for everybody. But when crack was out, you didn't give a damn. You just want us to kill each other. We would just eliminate ourselves, basically.
Same thing with the gun laws. I know, forgive me, I don't have the specific quote that the mayor of Chicago said. Something to the effect of, now the crisis has hit home. For those of you who are aware, Chicago, I love me some Chicago. Shout out to Chicago. But they have a very serious gun problem, and they've had one for a very long time. Even, all due respect to former President Obama, shout out to President Obama, he couldn't even get a handle on it when he was a senator in Chicago. And yet, what happened in Las Vegas, again, I don't remember exactly what the mayor said, but he tried to compare this tragedy to Chicago's everyday gun violence. There's really no comparison.
Well, to give you an example of that, it was something this is something I said to you earlier as well, was there was something on Facebook I saw. and I told you it was a thing called open carry. A white guy open carry versus a black guy open carry. Mm-hmm. And it was really funny how, when the black guy was open carry, they were on him like white on rice. It was like no problem. And here it was that the white guy, they kind of like let him, pass or whatever like that. They really didn't really monitor him too tough or whatever. But if you look at the last couple of mass shootings, I want to know what color were they except for the Pulse. Except for Pulse, what was the race of the last 2 to 3 shootings?
Well, it's no secret that white males make up the, should we say, majority of mass shooters in this country.
And it's funny because that's your backyard. That's your backyard. See, you want to be in our backyard up there monitoring us, but then you have everything running amok in your own backyard. Why don't you monitor your backyard first before you come into my backyard? Because my lawn is very manicured, and my lawn is very put together.
Here's something we definitely want everyone to think about, whether you actually have been thinking about it already or not. Stephen Paddock, 64-year-old white male, who purchased, they found the final count was over 47 firearms
at the hotel. At the hotel. And then he had an arsenal at home of 19 more guns.
Okay, so there you have it.
So my man had his own army of one person. And nobody monitored that. Nobody. But then they monitor you to find out how many drugs you're coming out with for your allergies, though, right? Think about that. They monitor you of how many Claritin D pills you get, okay? But then you can't monitor somebody of how many guns they're purchasing.
Well, here's the bigger problem. There are gun ranges in Vegas,
right?
Than the one myself, know, and firearm laws are very relaxed in Nevada.
Okay.
Even though Stephen Paddock purchased guns, I think Nevada as well, Utah, Arizona, and California. Mm-hmm. There really won't be any red flags because, and also in all these incidents of mass shootings, all the firearms were purchased legally.
True, but guess what? Other than Sandy Hook. Other than Sandy Hook, all right, because that was guns from his parents, all right? Those were his parents' guns. Other than that kid, okay? When you're talking about the guy from Vegas, he had to have a license. He had to have something for him to get these guns. Period. End of story. Okay? It's just like saying, if you went and got your license in another state, don't you think they would see violations on that? Just curious.
Well,
if you had a DWI on your license, and we went to Jersey and tried to get a license, do you think they would give me a license without doing the background?
It's supposed to show up, but I'm going to say it's a different registry.
Right, but it's supposed to be a general registry. Okay, why I'm saying that is because if they had the same registry, okay, that you would have with driver's license, then they would have said, yo, why is this dude buying like 10 guns here in this state, 10 guns here, and it's only one person, okay? And it's not like, maybe, all right, give or take, you have people who are gun enthusiasts, all right? But my thing is this, if they're a gun enthusiast, they will get older guns that are not working, or older guns that are more of what do you call it? Like artship. Like, you're buying it for a decoration, or to say like, oh, I had a gun from the Civil War, but it's not going to be actually working.
But here's the thing.
Go ahead.
You cannot trample on my Second Amendment right. It is my right to purchase a firearm, whether it be fully or semi-automatic. It is my right to buy all the ammo I want.
Right, but you know what though? And this is the part that sucks. Do you know how old that whole piece of paper is? How old that paper is? That's number one. Okay? Do you know when that line was written? Do you know who it was written for?
Of course I do.
Who?
Not us.
No. It was written for the British. All right? It was written because we were still at war with England. All right? And what they were saying was, you have the right to bear arms so that if England came on your property, let's say we're living in Manhattan, so-called, whatever, and they came in through the Manhattan side and stepped off the land, stepped off the boat, came on the land, whatever, and walked into your house on your property. You had the right to blow their head off. That was good for England. We're now in the 21st century now, okay? England no longer owns us, all right? We're not fighting with nobody other than ISIS and whoever else wants to bomb us, all right? So my thing is that some of the amendments, or whatever it is that we have, some of it does need to be changed during the time. Yes, I understand some of it are rights. Yes, I understand that. But you have to understand also is that the time they were written, some of this stuff don't make no damn sense.
Nowadays, you're correct, but they will always push that, especially when it comes to gun control. Come on now, NRA is probably the biggest lobby,
correct,
and the richest lobby that is in the Republicans. Other than smokes, it's in the Republicans' pockets.
Right.
This is
You're
why.
Absolutely right.
This is why they always say now is not the time to talk about it whenever there's a mass shooting.
Right. But guess what? It hasn't hit their backyard. It's happened to their counterparts' backyards, but it hasn't happened to their backyard. Because wait and see. Wait till NRA, one of the top leaders, they get caught up in a gunshot or a gun war, whatever it is, or a shootout or whatever, and see what happens. Oh, now we got to make a change because guess what? Now it's affecting me.
Well, it kind of did happen when Steve Scalise got shot.
But that doesn't mean nothing because guess what? He still came back to work and he said, I still support gun stuff.
You're
right.
He still said that. If we got too far off topic, we apologize. This is Devil Tongue and Phantom Other on Spreaker.com. We actually got to sign off. But please listen to this broadcast again and again and again because this